This video just give you a brief demonstration how can you use the cell phone app to control your E30 shift and rev light. Okay, first thing you need to download the app, install the app, and turn on your Bluetooth function and make sure you give the app the permission to access your Bluetooth connection. And then you turn on the app. And the first thing you need to scan for the device, click on scan for device and see the list. You'll find E30Base on the list. And you click on that. Yeah, make sure you turn on your cluster first. Okay, then you'll see the Bluetooth connection status say connected. And you see a multiple buttons showed up at the bottom here. The first thing I would say before there's more than 40 parameters in this program, so I would highly recommend you save your current settings before you changing anything. So I'll click on System. In the System, there's a line say Save Settings to Block, and there's a drop-down menu. Okay, there's 3 memory blocks you can save to. So choose number 1, save the memory, save the setting to block number 1. You click on Save. Say, are you sure? Yes. And you will see this respond text box say save to memory block 1. Okay, then you can do any changes that you feel like you just want to go back to the previous setting. You can here click on load setting from block 1. Yeah, it's a drop down menu. You can you have multiple options here, and just click on load. You say, are you sure? Yes. All right, and you will say it will say set to memory block 1. There's another function here. You can restore to the default your factory setting here if you want to do that. And also, there's a on and off button here, so you can turn all this LED lights on and off. Yes, now it's currently on, and you switch to off and click on update. Because you can see the lights already coming. It's turned off, and all LED will turn off. It remains off until you turn it back on. Even though you shut down the power and turn it back on, will stay off. All right, and let's move on to the next function. Okay, the second function I introduce here is the red line setting. When you click on this red line button, it will take you to the red line menu. There are 2 red line RPMs here. One is a hot red line RPM 8000 and the cold red line RPM 6000. And there's a cold red line transition temperature to hot red line is about 175 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you have the your temperature gauge is lower than first tick, it will go to the 6000 cold red line. Let's go higher when you reach about the first tick. And if you have a video OEM sensor, the first tick usually represents 175 to 180, and you will go to the high red line, 8000 RPM. In order to change any red line RPM, you can set to click on a number and just put in the new setting. The increment is 25. So for example, I came here is a 7250 and click on update, and you will see the refreshing settings, and this it's a command line will say hot red line RPM set to 7250. If you don't see the refresh setting, the icon, you can click on that manually. You will refresh again, and it will update all these parameters on the menu. If you don't want this cold to hot red line transition, you can turn it off. Click on update, and you will just only display the hot red line regardless the temperature. And you also can change the cold red line RPM, also the transition temperature here. 175 is a good value. You don't want to set it too high, because if you set it like 190 because your temperature may fluctuate at the higher end, and you will have this red line bouncing between hot and cold, which is not pleasant. And the other setting you can do is to change how many LED you're gonna use for red line. The default is 4, the maximum 4. You can say, okay, I'm update it to only 2. You can see only have 2 LED lights out for the red line. And also you can change the color of the red line if you don't want to use red. This color setting is based on a color wheel. So the color wheel, the hue number basically is the angle around this circle. It's from 0. It's not 0 to 360. It's 0 to 255. So 0 is green, and 70 is about yellow. 80 is about like orange color. 100 is about red color. 130 is like a purple and a magenta color. 160 is blue. 180 is about like cyan color. Go back to 255 is a green again. All right, and so for example, I don't want to use the red color. I can use like maybe blue color for the red line LED. So I can just type in 160 red line color hue update. You see now it's become a blue color. Okay, the other thing you can change is the saturation, color saturation. It's basically the radius of this color wheel. Okay, so the more to the center is more white components. Color will more pale. All the way to 0, that's basically white color. So now the maximum saturation is the most vivid colors at 255. But we can change that. We can use either the slider as well. You can see the slider to more close to 0 is more pale color. So I can maybe set to 67, around that range. As you can see, there's more white pale color to it. If you want to just go all the way to 0, that will be just white color, the white LED. Okay. Then the other useful thing is you can change the intensity of LED. The maximum is 255 as well, and the minimum is 0. Now it's 70 else. Okay, turn it to the brightest 255. Click on update. Update. You can say refresh setting, and you see it's much more brighter now. All right, that's for the red line setting. Okay, let's move on to the most complex function of this program, the Rev LED setting. Let's click on this Rev button. It will take you to the Rev LED setting menu. Let's just pay attention to this color mode line. There's a drop-down menu here. Click on that. So you can see there are 5 different color modes. The first one is single solid color mode. Let's check on that first. Click on that and click on update. And that will take you to single solid color mode. Well, it's basically just a single color used for the Rev LED, as you can see here. Only like a yellowish color here. And so you can, like the red line, you can change this color. And click on update. It doesn't refresh. Let's click on the refresh setting manually. And you can see that it's refreshing the setting of this menu on the app. And that's how you change the color. And also you can change the intensity of this Rev LED as well. The maximum is 255. Maybe we can change to 50. Click on update. It's much more dimmer now. Okay, let's change it back to 55. Oops. 255. Update. All right. And so there are a total of 20 LEDs in the system. There are 4 LEDs between 1,000 intervals. It's a 4 between 9 and 8,000. There's 4 here, 4 more here, 4 more here. There's a 4 more between 4,000 and 5,000 underneath the gauge face. So you can design. I want to start my rev LED maybe not from 4,000. I want to start from, for example, 5,500. 5,500. And click on update. So instead of a start from 4,000, now start from the 5,500. One more thing you can do here is like you don't want to keep like revving your engine to just see this color changes, right? So we just turn off this tachometer. You can turn on this function, turn on rev LED for testing. Switch it on, click on update. Now you just turn it on for you to change the color or intensity without hassling, without revving the engine. All right, so that's one very useful function here. Let's turn it off. Yeah, there's one more thing I can play with is a E46M3 style reverse mode. It's basically emulate whatever the shift and rev light on the E46M3 cluster. Show you that we're just doing reversely instead of along with needles, reverse direction. Okay, let's turn that off for now. Let's move on to the second mode. It's a single color intensity progressive mode. So update to go to that mode. It's basically the same color, but the intensity will be brighter. So it's pretty dim right now. It's get brighter and brighter when you reach to the red line. That's the only difference. Okay. And let's move on to the next one. It's a uniform color transition mode. Okay, let's say we click on update to take you to that mode. All right, so there are 2 color. It's gonna transition from yellow color to red color. So start from yellow, but it's the whole rev LED will transition to red. So from yellow, green, that's to red. That's a single color. This is a uniform color transition mode. And the next one is a color progressive transition mode. It's more like rainbow color. And let's take the start RPM to maybe 4,000 again to see the full effect. So this is more like a rainbow spectrum color transition all the way to red. See the fun, like a yellowish green all the way to red. All right, and the next one, it's a 4 color section mode update. So basically, you just define color for each section, like a red, blue, green, yellow and to red. So you can define each section what color you're gonna use individually. All right, that's pretty much it for the old Rev LED setup. Okay, the next thing you can change is the shift light flashing color and speed. Okay, click on flash, take you to the menu. So this say you can change the color, the saturation and hue, and also the intensity, also the how fast you want to change the speed. Actually, the higher number is more like a duration. So the higher number actually slower the flash. So for example, here, if we turn on tachometer, this is a default setting flash speed and the color. It's red color, 28. And if we want to slow it down, we can slow it down by increasing a number, for example, to 50. Okay, I'll click on update. All right, I can also change the color by, for example, we want to just white color, and slide it all the way to 0 saturation. Click on update. Now we test it again because you can see that it's gonna be white color, gonna flash much more slower. Another function available in the system is the temperature warning capability. You will give the warning flash when your temperature, coolant temperature reading above certain level. Just let me show you quickly what does it do. So look at the coolant temperature gauge here. As you can see, when the level is getting higher, you will start to flash, give you the warning. In order to change its functionality, you can click on the temp warning tab here. It will take you here. There's a toggle switch. You can turn it on and off after clicking the update. And there's a coolant, this temperature level you can change. 214 usually corresponds to somewhere leaving the center tick when you're approaching the first higher tick. But this temperature is really only specifically set up for the OEM video sensor. If a third-party sensor or aftermarket sensor will not be accurate. So you have to experiment with it with your own sensor. So we can change the level here. For example, increase to 225. Click on update. As you can see, the warning flash stopped, and the temperature needs to go even higher to start the flash. So in the same time, you can change the flash color and also the flash speed and also the intensity. The number here, the flash speed, the higher the number, the faster the flash. All right, and in the end, don't forget to click on disconnect. All the current setting will be saved automatically.